Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.
RoadToRuta.com. Little mini slam on silver today. It is not a coincidence that it is Tuesday. Tuesday's the cutoff for the Commitment of Traders report. They don't want it to look like they are shorting into the rise. So right before the cutoff, Tuesday at close, they slam it down to cover as many shorts as possible. It's about 2 weeks since the bad guys, the criminal rigging corporations, have not been shorting into the rise. Now, maybe they're trying to tell us something. I don't know. Maybe they're doing it on purpose. They can. They can click a mouse and make the price of silver go to minus $40. They did it with oil. They can do it with anything. They can do it with, oil's a much bigger market than silver, obviously. So, yeah, what do? You get your physical silver in your own possession and you wait this shit out. That's what everybody's doing who knows what they're doing. They're not in the mining companies. They're not in ETFs. Metal in your own possession. We've hit that point. The $3 quadrillion in derivatives will not last the next shakeup. And it's coming. When will it be? I thought it would be, 25 years ago when I started doing this? If we had free markets, it would happen. But we don't have free markets. It's the only thing I'm kind of pissed about Trump is, he's the biggest rigger of them all. But at the same time, he's getting more done. So I'll give him that break. But at some point, even he knows, and I talked about this on the private road, that we have to go back to the gold standard. It's the best thing for the United States. It gets us out of our debt if you crash the old system. And, oh, by the way, we just happen to have probably over 1 million tons of gold. And I know that sounds crazy to all you gold bugs, but there's just massive amounts of gold that you don't know about. Well, you should know about it. You can read Gold Warriors. That's over 300,000 tons there. You can look at all my research into the Grand Canyon. That's probably over 1 million tons, maybe even 2 million tons. One of the problems with going back to any kind of money is we don't know how much there is. Fiat money. Elon finds 14 computers that create money out of thin air. What's the deal, At some point, everybody, it's a faith and confidence game. What backs the U.S. dollar? Oh, the faith and confidence in the U.S. government. Oh, my God. As if anybody has any faith and confidence in us. Although Trump, he was badass yesterday trying to stop the war. And I said it. Those people following me, the first Trump administration, I'm like, there's going to be 3 stages. The first stage is Trump is the bad guy. That was his first administration. Second stage is Putin's the bad guy. We're just getting out of that now. And then it's going to be Xi of China. He's going to go take Taiwan. And all of a sudden, he's the bad guy. And that's the end game. Because it'll cut off the computer chips to the planet, they got to look for alternatives. Not all of them, but a lot of them. A lot of the, especially the high-end chips, it's like 90% of the high-end chips are made in Taiwan. And yeah, China takes it. It's up to China and whether or not we actually get those chips. And then it's the question of, holy shit, what if they blow up the factories? It'll take 10 years to recreate that stuff. So yeah, this is a very interesting time. But I do think we're getting to the end of Putin being the bad guy. They're going to resolve the war issue. And then it'll be Xi's turn, probably in the melee of, who knows what's going on. And then we have the Epstein stuff. If they do announce that, oh, by the way, the entire board of directors of JP Morgan Chase was in on this on this horrific operation, the deep state operation. If that is known, then you have serious problems with the number one bank in the world. And they just happen to be the largest silver holder on the planet. And they hold all the ETF silvers held by JP Morgan. And that's another thing. You look at the COMEX warehouses and the LBMA warehouses, they're double counting silver. Those are, and the numbers, I did the numbers, I asked Grok the numbers on that. And the numbers are, there's about 720 million ounces of ETF silver, and that's almost, it's right where the number for the COMEX or the LBMA vault is, 778. So all of that is spoken for silver. And I would say the same thing about the COMEX warehouses, because JP Morgan is the largest holder on the LBMA and on the COMEX, and they love to play little accounting games. So my take is there's not much silver left at all. Jeffrey Christian is just a complete shill for the banking cabal. Says there's 6 billion ounces of silver that can become available instantly. And it's bullshit. It's bullshit. He's double counting everything, and he's pulling numbers out of his ass. But that's Jeff, good old Jeffy boy. So don't believe him. We've already shown that the Silver Institute's a lie. So where does that leave us? Like I said, physical silver in your own possession. This is the end game. If you have any gold, absolutely 1,000% swap it for silver. 88 to 1. That's just, it should be obvious to everybody. If you don't have a local guy who'll do it for you, contact Andy Scheckman at Miles Franklin. You can send them an email, info@milesfranklin.com, and they will they do the gold to silver swaps. So go check that out. But yeah, as far as the warehoused silver, 778.7 million ounces supposedly in the LBMA, but that is probably about 95% ETF owned. And then there's the US, the COMEX, which I think is around 500 million ounces, or so they say. JP Morgan says it is. And JP Morgan holds half of that. And why this is all happening like this, I don't know. And all the ETFs are required to keep that silver in LBMA approved warehouses. So we know it's there. We know what it is. And some of the questions are, okay, some of these are eligible and some are registered. So the registered, I think that's a category that is available to jump in, and the rest is just kind of in the background. But the amount of registered on the COMEX is pretty damn high. And which tells me the obvious thing is that a lot of that registered silver is ETF silver. And then there's an ETF short position, which is like, I think, 40 million ounces, which is ridiculous because you buy a share of SLV. This is on SLV. You buy a share of SLV, you would expect, according to the prospectus, they would deposit an ounce of silver. That's not what happens. Not even close. So, yeah. If you have SLV, I know people hold it in their retirement accounts because they can't get their retirement accounts out and blah, blah, blah. You can get them out. There are ways. Contact Will Lair at Unbound Assets. Send him an email, info@unboundassets.com. He can help you set up a self-directed IRA, which will get the silver closer to you in person, and you can buy physical silver in that. All right? So, yeah, my thing today. I look at this, I'm like, this is just nothing. This is fluff. This is painting the numbers. You get cheaper silver, 64 cents per ounce cheaper. That's nice. How long will it go? I don't know, and I don't care. Could it go below the moving averages? It would take a bit. Moving averages are currently $35 for the 100-day and $33.21 for the 200-day. As silver, all this time that silver stays above the moving average, that moves the moving average up higher and higher. So that's your floor. Anything below that, you got China, you got Russia, you got hedge funds, and you got India mainly sitting there waiting. India hasn't done their big purchase this year. So are they going to jump in and not wait for it to go below the 200-day and 200-day moving average? They might. They kind of did. They did a little jump last month. I think it was 17, 18 million ounces they imported. But it's those big jumps, the 80, 90, 100 million ounce imports that we're looking for. That only happens on these slams that we see every once in a while. So keep an eye on that. All right. So this is what SLV, people are like, oh my God, there's so much silver that SLV inventories are going up. No, this is just JP Morgan bringing it into the light. And a lot of this was sitting in London that got brought back to the U.S. They barely reported the shrinking of silver in the vaults of London, the LBMA vaults, but they definitely boosted up from 13 to 15 1,000 tons. That's a big chunk, a couple 100 million ounces of a jump. And we're at SLV, I think it's 540 million, something like that. So yeah, it's a con game. It's a shell game. So anyway, get ready for all that. I do want to point out TFuel broke through the floor of the floor type of thing. It's back down around 3.4 cents. That is going to be your investment for the future. That is the future of AI, especially if China invades Taiwan, because Theta invented a way to maximize the unused capacity of everybody's computers. So if we do have a situation where the chips aren't being made in Taiwan for a month or two or three, there is a way to keep expanding the AI processing power, and that's through the Theta program, the Theta Edge nodes. That's exactly what they do. They share excess capacity. I think that might be the spark. I did a little AI search on the best crypto for DeFi in the DeFi space, and they didn't come up with Theta. I'm like, what the hell? They came up with bit sensor, render, artificial superintelligence, ASI, internet computer ICP, Destra network, and then they talked about why they were better. And I'm like, how did you miss Theta and TFuel with their massive partnerships and integration onto Amazon's new AI chips? And this is the thing. This is what people are thinking. If they don't see it up there on the top 10, they're not interested, which is really interesting. So this is AI saying, I appreciate you pointing out Theta Network and TFuel, as they indeed have significant developments in the decentralized AI space, particularly with their recent integration of Amazon's AI chips. My initial response focused on projects like BitSensor, Render, and others due to their prominence in market cap, developer activity, and specific AI use cases like model training and agent networks. However, Theta's unique position, especially its partnership with Amazon Web Services and integration of Trainium and Inferentia chips, make it a compelling contender in the decentralized AI compute space. Let's address this oversight by diving into Theta and TFuel's role. So they go to, basically, then they spell out, holy shit. They even get the burning right. I think that's why TFuel is going to blow away Theta. Not blow away, do twice as well as Theta, because there's a burn factor that nobody's factoring in. Right now it's 22-1, 22 TFuel chips, TFuel tokens get you 1 Theta. I think we're going to see a 1-to-1 relationship at some point as everything kicks in. And remember, the Theta Edge node is a software download. So let's just say tomorrow she invades Taiwan, all of a sudden nobody can get chips. What are we going to do? Panic, panic, panic. All of a sudden Google and Amazon and Azure, which is Microsoft, come out and say, oh, we've been working with the Theta Network. We can download this sharing program on everybody's device and greatly, massively expand the amount of compute hardware available. It's crazy. I know. Anyway, they do a pretty good summary of what Theta and TFuel are. And then they say, Theta Network with TFuel as operational token is a strong contender in decentralized AI space. And I said, what about all the patents in the partnership with Google? And they said, holy shit, yeah, they own all these patents. Unbelievable. And then AI starts understanding just how important it is. So we go through that, and then I say, with that information, please answer the question again. What is the best crypto to own today for application in decentralized AI space? Determining the best cryptocurrency for AI applications as of August 2025 requires evaluating project based on their technology, adoption, partnership, market position, relevance to AI cases like model training, blah, blah, blah. After considering Theta's patents and Google's cloud partnership alongside with their leading projects, Theta Network, Theta and TFuel emerges as the top choice due to its unique hybrid infrastructure, robust patent portfolio, enterprise-grade partnerships, and direct applicability to AI workloads. Below is a revised answer addressing the question with Theta's contributions fully integrated. So basically it says Theta's number one. AI needs a little coaxing, but they get there. So, why didn't they do it in the beginning? Is because Theta, the price of Theta is so low that it's not on anybody's radar, so the chatter isn't out there about it. And that's something that this team needs to work on, the Theta Labs marketing team. And they got to go to their partners at some point and say, hey, we need a little help. Theta Network does not work without a strong TFuel price. Nobody's going to want to share their hard drive, their processing power, or their storage or processing speed, you name it, broadband. Nobody's going to want to share it if TFuel prices are at 3 cents. If they're at $3, yeah, people are going to start sharing. And they'd be willing to do it. They'd be excited to do it. I hope the Theta people fully understand that Theta does not work without a strong TFuel price. There's no incentive, right? They know it. I mean, they set up the system. They know it. Mitch has been saying, oh my God, TFuel should be going crazy. What's going on? And then I asked, okay, which is better? Which is better token to buy today between Theta and TFuel? And the answer was, does all the evaluation, utility and decentralized AI, market position, demand drivers, risks, historical context. They list what Theta does, which is a governance token with the validators and guardians and the AI relevance, market cap position, demand drivers, blah, blah, blah. And then TFuel. They're like, holy shit. TFuel's the operational token, the gas. The only thing they didn't get is the staking with the booster nodes. Throw that in, TFuel far exceeds. But yeah, at the end they said comparative analysis, but recommendation. TFuel is the better token to buy today for decentralized AI exposure as of August 2025. Its direct role in powering AI compute on edge cloud, coupled with transaction burns, 20 to 25% of fees, and increasing demand from partners, they list a couple partners, positions TFuel for higher short-term price growth compared to Theta. The Theta Edge Cloud's success post-2025 in AI-driven transactions will amplify TFuel's utility with potential to become deflationary if the burn outpaces 4 or 5%. I do think it'll become deflationary. I do think that will cross over 1-to-1 with Theta. Right now it's like 7 million TFuel and 7 billion TFuel and 1 billion Theta, which is like a 7-to-1 ratio. But again, at the moment, the transactions aren't outburning the growth rate of 4 to 5%. So yeah, TFuel's the buy. And I've been talking about this a while. I mean, I love them both. Don't get me wrong; they'll both do great. But if you're looking, and TFuel, you'll get 7% guaranteed, and then if you're in to get the booster nodes and things like that, you'll make more. So definitely think about swapping TFuel for Theta for TFuel. Definitely other cryptos. XRP, if you made money on XRP, congratulations. Now get out. Run for the hills on XRP, the big Ponzi scheme. It's not a Ponzi scheme. Well, it's just they promise things that are just not realistic. That the banks, the central banks of the world, will give up control to XRP to do their cross-border transfers. Come on. Why would they do it? They don't need it. It's not like rocket science technology. It's not. They can use Theta. You can use the Lightning Network. You can use Dogecoin, for Christ's sake. Very fast transactions. But yeah. But hey, I get the XRP cult. They think it's part of the new. It cracked me up when they said XRP is part of like the what do they call it, the new financial system that's coming. They called it the quantum financial system. It's such bullshit. The amount of bullshit that is thrown around is just unbelievable. But hey, place your bets, right? You're playing in a casino with your investment money. Place your bets. All right, that's what I got for you. We're currently giving away one Veritaseum token. Veritaseum's taken off the coin market cap. I would assume they would at some point take it off. Somebody asked me this weekend, why Veritaseum was the only one beat up, really, of all the cryptos. It got beat up the worst, and it's not a fraud. Like a couple were frauds. Centra was a fraud, and they beat them up. They took him out, took him down. Reggie was, they were going to throw Reggie in jail. Why? Because he invented a way out of this problem, out of rehypothecation of trades, of shares, of, there's no rigging the markets in a Veritaseum run gold and silver market, Veritaseum run bond market, stock market, foreign exchange transactions. There's no middleman to rig the price. It's between you and the buyer. And Reggie invented that, and that's why they took him out. So will it come back? I think so. Go, Cliff's backtracking on it. Yeah. From what I see, it looks like more and more chance that we'll see Veritaseum, because we'll be literally in the shit when the things fall apart. And we have to have things fall apart, or the bad guys are going to win. It's that simple. They've squirreled away trillions and trillions of dollars, and that is how they run this game, and they've been able to do it for over 100 years. The only way to take them out would be to let the derivative bubble collapse. I think this Epstein stuff would put a spotlight on the world's biggest derivative holder, U.S. bank, and the world's largest bank, J.P. Morgan Chase, and the board of directors' involvement, business-wise and island-wise, board of directors and the senior management. I mean, Jamie Dimon can scream all he wants that he never knew who Jeffrey Epstein was, but we all know he's freaking lying under oath. So we'll see. It should be very interesting in the weeks and months going forward. But yeah, get your physical silver in your own possession. Get your Theta and TFuel and start staking it. Get 7% on your TFuel. Just pile up that TFuel. Anywhere you can find a scrap of TFuel is if that's for the future, though. For right now, silver, 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 silver. Again, they're painting the tape for the. I think it closes pretty soon. The COMEX, and then you'll see this bump right up sometime during next week, and it starts the game again. This is all derivative. Look at all just fake trades. The volume has really gone down on the COMEX because nobody wants to play the game anymore with the riggers. So we'll see. Exciting times. You want to join the private road at roadtorita.com? I'll be talking on the private road. I'm talking with Dave at X22 Report tomorrow. That'd be good. Go to roadtorita.com. Click on subscribe today. And we are currently giving away one Veritaseum token with every private road subscription or renewal. Go check it out. I'll talk to you guys later.